So I'm going to teach you how to plant microgreens so that then you can do exactly what I tell you to do. So it might be a good idea for you to take notes on this because you are then going to be teaching other people about this. So you might know everything that I say and that's great, but if you want to get a piece of notebook paper so you can take notes and follow the steps along, that would be great too. So I've got all my supplies here, and these are supplies that I will either provide to you for teaching or the teachers will have it, so you'll work that out. So what I have is, here is a tray. This is actually 2 trays together, so you can see that the one outside tray, lots of drainage, basically just holds these 2 containers. And I've got 2 containers here, so we're gonna plant actually 4 different kinds of microgreens in here. So these containers are just shallow plastic containers. They are filled up to the bottom line on the container with 2 different kinds of soil. So the bottom line, this is about 1 inch or 1.5 inches of soil. That's all we need for microgreens, 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Hi Janet, come on in. So I got 2 kinds of soil here. This is our germination mix, which is really, really fine textured. This is what I call traditional potting soil mix over here. It's much coarser in texture. So right underneath the bench is the traditional soil, and just down there is the germination mix, which is fine texture. So you're gonna wanna get enough of these different substrates in the containers. You're going to fill it up to the bottom line on these mixes about 1 inch deep. Then you're going to want to take another container, something else that you can actually firm the soil down. So you want the soil to be nice and firm. So it's a good firm seed bed that you're going to plant into. And then I used a little bit of water on this already. These are misters that won't transfer any seed or any of the media around. You can actually open these up and actually do a little bit of watering here. Don't do very much here if you want to get it over the sink, so it drains in the sink, that's good. No media or substrate in the sink, only water in the sink. So now we're ready to actually put our seed in here. And I have got the labels prepared first. It's always a good idea to prepare your labels so you don't forget what I plant. It's already planted. I can't even see it. What was that? Did I have Swiss chard here or was it over here? So it's a good idea to do your labels first. So on the label, you want to put the class, Hort 4000, your name and the date on one side. On the other side, you can put what the microgreen is. So we have 4 kinds, so hopefully you can plant all 4 kinds. These are our garden peas, the largest ones, Swiss chard, and then Chinese cabbage and this one, tatso mix. This is another brassica, a little different. So the big question with growing microgreens is how many do you seed? And at what rate do you seed microgreens? Because when these things are harvested, they are full, they are dense, and most of the time you just cut everything off. So you want a dense planting as possible. But Johnny's seed has a rule of thumb, 4 to 6 seeds per square inch. So it's a good idea if you measure these containers and then you'll know how big these are. So I have a yardstick out here that you can measure these with so you know what size you're dealing with. And then think about 4 to 6 seeds per square inch. So even 4 to 6 seeds with peas per square inch, this is just quite a few peas. So when you put these on here, you can sprinkle them on with your hand. You don't have to be that specific with them. Just sprinkle them on. I will let somebody use this. That's why I'm not planting them right away. So 4 to 6 seeds roughly per square inch. You will see these seeds when we get down here, the brassicas. These are really, really tiny seeds. These are also the same color as the soil. So it's going to be really hard to see these when you put these on really tiny ones. So we want a dense seed stand, but if it's too dense, the plants will start dying. But we're going to harvest them fairly readily, so just kind of cover the surface of the soil. With the peas, 4 to 6, maybe 5 per square inch is a good rule of thumb. So kind of cover. So once you've put the seed down, you can pat down, especially these peas. Then you want to take a light amount of soil, put it on top, just make sure it's covered. Rule of thumb for covering seed is 3 times the width of the seed. These are really, really tiny. You'll hardly even see what you cover them with. You can just do a really light coating on these little ones. Chard is a really weird looking seed, you know, like something from outer space. But chard will need a little bit more soil on top of it. So cover them up, and then again, the last thing, firm down the soil, and then the final watering. At this point, once you get all the seed in there, I think it'd be a good idea to take your flat into the greenhouse. And I'll show you where we're going to put them in the greenhouse. We have a diffuser there on the water, and we can water them, hopefully without washing away the seed too much. You might end up using these as well, but that way any water and drainage and stuff in the greenhouse just go on the floor. We have to clean this all up so it looks perfect in the end, so it makes a muddy mess here. So we'll do the watering in the greenhouse. But the last thing then is the cover. So these microgreens, I think, grow best when they have a cover. We have 2 types of covers. Do they even fit? Maybe not so tightly. The good thing about this is it keeps the soil moist, but there's some holes in the top to allow for air exchange here. We don't have enough of these big ones, or at least I couldn't find these big ones. We have a ton of these. These don't have any air exchange. So this could be like a mini burning greenhouse in here with this one. So I'm not so happy with this. So we might want to leave this like this, like plant askew, because it's better if you have some opening in the top so it's moist, but then the heat can escape. So make sure you put the date on your label. A week from today, we should see a lot of germination in these, and maybe even before that. Okay, you can stop taping.